All right, so I am reviewing American Dad seasons 1 through 15 within this video. Now, if you want to see me talk about more content like American Dad from Seth MacFarlane, well, you should check out my review for Family Guy seasons 1 through 19, and then The Cleveland Show, all 4 seasons of that show. So if you want to see me talk about those series, I did that. American Dad is weird because basically, in terms of all the Seth MacFarlane shows in that have similar art styles, it kind of is just its own thing that I think a lot of people forget about. Like, Family Guy and Cleveland shows are on the same network, and then American Dad is over here looking like the same type of show, but airing on TBS. And I think a lot of people are like, okay, it's popular. It definitely is because unlike the Cleveland show, it's still running. It's got like 15 seasons under its belt, which is nothing to scoff at. But this show is kind of what the Cleveland show should have been, right? Because this show is, at first glance, a Family Guy clone, except instead of a dog, it's an alien, and all the stories very pretty much function the same, except the daughter and the son both get a lot more spotlight than they normally would in Family Guy. Like, these are more family centered stories. Like, I feel like, I forget that what's the fat kid's name from Family Guy? I'm forgetting his name. I want to say Griffin, but that's the family's name, not his name. Chris. I forget that stupid fat kid Chris is even there half the time because they utilize him. But I know I like the character of Haley. I like I like I like the 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 other kid. I'm forgetting his name. Steve, that's his name. But I like them quite a bit, and you know, I like them, and I think when you look at Stan and Peter Griffin, they're very similar characters. Stan's very different though; he has his own kind of personality. I don't really, but it's kind of the same dynamic, and I kind of think theirs should have been changed up a lot more than it was. It's not the same, but at least they don't have parts where Stan goes to a bar, Vince to some of his friends. The show really isn't about side characters. There actually isn't any really recurring side characters, unlike in Family Guy. But yeah, I don't like this show that much. I will say that. I think the show is better than the Cleveland show, but it's like kind of still like a worse version of Family Guy to me, and it's kind of like, yeah. And I also don't get some of the elements. Like, I don't know why that fish is there. He could have been deleted from the show, but he's here for no reason. And the alien dude Roger is like, he's like a less funny Brian Griffin without any of the heart. And it felt like at first they were trying to do like an Alf parody thing. Like, Alf is, if you don't know, Alf is like a sitcom from the 80s where this alien crash lands in these people's garage, and he lives with them, and he's not allowed to go outside, anything like that, because they have to keep his existence a secret. And so, mishaps ensue and stuff like that. It's kind of the show. Well, Roger felt like he was a parody of that at first, but it didn't. But then he just kind of became Brian Griffin, but not nearly as funny, witty, and charming as that character. Like, Brian was always the heart of Family Guy, and then it became Brian and Stewie, and then now they're both the heart of the show. Um, but like Roger just kind of sucks. Like, I don't really think he's that funny. I don't. He just, I get it, but I don't know. I feel like there's some elements here that were improved upon from Family Guy, but also just not enough. And it's just kind of like, once you've seen like 19 seasons of Family Guy, which I know most people have not seen 19 seasons of Family Guy. They've probably seen like maybe 10 or less. But you really come to see that the shows are the show has a similar writing format that just gets stale after a certain point. And a lot of the show is a lot of the same humor, and it gets even more stale, and it's just not that interesting. And I don't know. I felt there were a couple episodes I really liked where they played around with different premises and sci-fi stories. And I felt like those were brilliant. I wanted to see that the show kind of do stuff like that. You could tell that Seth MacFarlane, even before the Orville came out, that he really liked sci-fi and wanted to play around with that. And I think he should have done that more, and should have made like a cool sci-fi show instead of kind of making a bunch of Family Guy clones. But overall, this show is meh. It definitely goes downhill, but I think it goes downhill by season 5 of this show. Like Family Guy at least had like season 6 or 7. This show, season 5, it went downhill. And then just get worse and worse and worse. So yeah, that's my thoughts on this show. But yeah.